Hi guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, and maybe press the like button. I would love to hear from you as well at the end if you have any thoughts about the stories that we talk about. Two more things. Spotify is linked below if you want to give us a follow on there and if you ever want to listen on there. And then also our subreddit is linked below if you want to share stories on there. Slay, queens. That's really all for the little, promotion. Other than that, guys, isn't this so cute? I feel like since this set that I'm wearing, by the way, is what I'm talking about. But I'm like obsessed with these, like with pink and yellow, or like, I guess it's kind of orange. But I love color combinations together. And this is like so viral on TikTok right now. So I know that when I wear it out in public, everyone's like, oh, she got that from TikTok shop. Which, why do I feel embarrassed by that? Like, yeah, I did get it from TikTok shop, okay? And it's really comfortable. Sorry, but I also am just obsessed with these colors, and I saw it on TikTok, and I wanted it for so long because I'm like, this is literally so cute. I love stripes. I love matching sets, and I also love color combinations. Like, every time I get the chance, I'm always wearing a color combination. Doesn't matter what color combination. I'll wear red, blue, pink together all in one. Like, I think that colors go together no matter what. Like, genuinely, unless it's like, I feel a little bit weird wearing like green and like red because Christmas, like holiday colors I feel weird wearing. But other than that, I feel like every color goes together. Like, I will wear pink and blue together, pink and red, blue and purple, purple and pink, like, get to it, okay? And Carrie Bradshaw actually inspires me to do that, and she has always inspired me to do that because her outfits are always, like, a lot of her outfits are color combinations, and I think it's so cute. But anyways, I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Actually, I have, because I forgot I did the Q&A episode on Friday. I filmed that while I was getting ready for dinner. We went to this restaurant that's on the water, and it's so, so cute. I love it so much. And they don't really, well, they have good food, but it's not like what I would choose really for food options, but the location is really great. But I just got a burger and fries, which the burger wasn't even that great, to be honest with you. But the fries were fire. And then after that, we went to this bar, and it was literally a bunch of old people grinding on each other. I was kind of like, you guys are slaying right now. Like, they were probably 60 and up. And I was like, wow, this is really, I need to keep this in the back of my mind in case I end up single at 60 and need to find, like, single and ready to mingle, and I need to find myself a husband, or like, I don't know, but it was crazy. The whole bar was packed. There was a live band, and the crowd dancing was way bigger than any crowd dancing I've seen at like a young person bar, which was crazy. I was like, wow, these old people really get down. They really get down, and I was like so tired by that point. I was yawning in the corner with my neutral in hand, and I'm just like, wow, I don't think when I'm 60 I'm gonna be going like this. I'm gonna be so tired. Like, I'm literally ready for bed right now. Well, actually, it depends. I can have a fun time, and if I'm drinking, I want to probably usually stay out till like 3 a.m. and I want to keep going to the next place. Bar, club, plane, another club. That's me when I'm like really drunk, but that's not that often. So, and I can't really drink that much because like once I drink the next day, I feel like shit. And I'm like, wow, I'm never touching alcohol again for a good like 5 business days after that. I'm just like, oof, I can't. And that night when you guys saw me in the Q&A video that I did, I drank like 3 martinis and a Sun Cruiser that really quick. So I was feeling it for a second. But then by the time we got to the restaurant and like ate and everything, it was kind of wore off by then. But then me and Jack, my boyfriend, I never say his name. I always just say my boyfriend, but Jack is his name. We went to McDonald's and got ice cream after that. We got their vanilla ice cream, which is like so soft, and it's crazy how white it is. It was like kind of creeping me out that it was so white. I was like, what do they use in here? Teeth whitener? Like, I'm so confused. But yeah, and then on Saturday, I literally was basically just working. I was editing pretty much all day. And Sunday, we went to breakfast. We went to a breakfast place, but I'm fucking so allergic to eggs, as you guys know, and I literally will have an actual, like, heart attack. No, but my stomach hurts for so long after I eat eggs, and it's, like, excruciating. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I need to go to the hospital. So I'm done forever eating eggs, forever. It's gotten worse and worse, too. Like, every time I eat them, my stomach pain gets worse. So I'm like, I should probably just stop eating them. So I got a gyro. It was like 11 a.m. But to be honest, it was really good. And I actually love breakfast food, so I'm a little bit sad about that because most of the breakfast like places that you go to, it's always going to be like eggs and this. Eggs and like so many eggs just everywhere. But my other option usually is biscuits and gravy because I grew up eating biscuits and gravy like a queen. I was obsessed with biscuits and gravy growing up, but yeah. So that's really my updates, and it's Monday, but you're seeing this on Tuesday, so happy Tuesday. How are you guys? How are you? I think I'm going to start doing mini episodes, so I think I'm going to film an episode after this, and not to replace the long episodes, but to post on the days that I don't post. So Mondays and Thursdays, I think I'm going to start posting mini episodes, but this is just going to be a trial, okay? I'm going to trial this for like the next month and see how I feel about it. And because I don't want to burn myself out, you know, because obviously I already post 3 long episodes a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 8 a.m. So, but honestly, like, it's not that much, to be honest. So I feel like I'll be fine doing the mini episodes, but yeah, let me know your feedback because the mini episode, I'm going to try to do like a story that has multiple updates so that I just can do like focus on one story for the mini episode and then talk about it for a little bit and then that's going to be it. I don't know. It's probably going to be like 20 to 30 minutes. But let's get into our story times today and let's go for it. Hopefully these stories are good because the titles seem good. So the first title of the first story is, Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband after finding out he's gay and cheated with his best man? So this is kind of raw, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but here goes. My husband, 31 male, and I, 30 female, have been together for almost 6 years. We got married about 2 years ago, and honestly, I thought everything was great between us. He had this close group of friends from way back, including his best friend, who ended up being his best man at our wedding. They were always close, but I never suspected anything more than that. A few weeks ago, I found out he's been cheating on me. And of course, it was a shock, but the real shock was when I figured out who it was with. It turns out he was seeing his best man. I confronted him, and after a lot of tears and honesty, he admitted that he's gay and has been struggling with it for years. I could tell it was painful for him to say, and I genuinely felt for him. He told me he really does care about me and he wanted to make it work because he loved me in his own way. But finding out that the life we'd built was based on him hiding a part of who he is, I don't know, it broke something in me. I told him that I want a divorce. I didn't want to out him or tell anyone what he told me because it's his story to tell, not mine. But I also feel like I just can't carry the secret around while people ask me why we're ending things. I gave him an ultimatum. He needs to come out and be honest with everyone. It's not about shaming him or anything, but I feel like if he's brave enough to start fresh, he should own who he is. The thing is, he says he's not ready. He thinks that I'm pushing him too fast and he's scared of how people will react. I get it, but I also feel like I'm carrying the weight of this secret on top of my own heartbreak. I've had friends and family asking me questions, and I've been deflecting and lying to protect him, but it's getting exhausting. Some people are even questioning if I did something wrong, and that just hurts. My friends are divided. Some think I'm being cruel by forcing him to come out before he's ready, and others say that he's being unfair to me by putting me in this position. So am I the asshole for giving him this ultimatum? Should I just let him take his time, or am I right to feel like I can't move on without the truth being out there? I feel like two things can be true at once. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like 100% I do think that pushing him to come out when he's not ready is definitely wrong. But I also feel like the fact that you guys are divorcing and you're already carrying so much and you have to lie to the people close to you, I also can see how that's wrong for him to do. You know what I mean? So I feel like it just needs a little time, and I feel like you guys can make a compromise as long as he is like gearing towards coming out, and you guys, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you're not going to out him. Like, definitely that's the worst case scenario. Like, that's not only like terrible for you would feel absolutely awful for doing that, and also that's just like traumatizing for him because he needs to find out his own way to deal with that and to tell people. And yeah, I just feel like there needs to be a compromise. He obviously cheated on you, so that's wrong in and of itself. Like, it doesn't matter who it's with. The fact that he cheated on you is really bad and terrible, and you having to deal with that and like go through that alone pretty much without having anyone to talk to about it because you don't want to out him is really hard. But then I can also see his side where it's obviously really hard, and if he's not ready, then he's not ready. So I feel like he just needs to make sure that his goal is to work towards coming out, so that then on the other hand you can also work towards healing. I don't know if that really makes sense, but let's hope. So, let's see what the comments are saying and how they're feeling. People are saying, you may not feel inclined to out him when people ask, but you can definitely tell him he cheated on you. This is true. Yeah, this is true. And that's why you're divorcing him. He committed infidelity regardless of who with. He should be ashamed about that. Okay, that's so true. Why didn't I think of that? Just say he cheated on you. It doesn't matter who. You could just be like, I don't know who with. Or like, I choose not to say. If you don't want to lie and be like, I don't know, you could also just be like, I'm not going to say. You know, I plead the fifth. Absolutely this. You tell people he cheated on you, but you don't have to say who it's with. Just that he's been cheating on you for a while and you no longer wish to remain married to a cheater. Is his best friend out? Exactly. You don't need to dive into details about his sexuality, but the fact remains that he cheated, and that's why you're ending things. It's his responsibility to be honest about his situation, not yours to protect him from the fallout. Agreed, you don't owe him that level of protection. The fact that he cheated is the core reason you're ending this, and that's all you need to say. His honesty about his situation is his responsibility, not yours to cover up, and you deserve to move on without carrying that burden. Yeah. I think that's a great solution. He cheated on me, period. Point blank, period. You know? Although, I'm not going to lie, it would be really hard for me not to be telling, like, my best friends. I feel like my best friend and my mom, I'd be like, can you guys sign this NDA for me real quick? I got to tell you something. For real. I would need to tell someone, but like obviously I wouldn't want to out him, but it's like I just would need so badly to talk to someone truly about it. Like, well, I guess you can go to a therapist. You can out him to your therapist because your therapist cannot tell anyone. She is binded by the law to not tell anyone, so that's honestly a great solution. But obviously at the same time you want to tell someone that's like you're not paying to listen to you. And at the same time, not everyone has access to therapy, so that could not even be possible for you. But that's really sad. I'm really sorry. That's sad on both ends because obviously it's just like so sad that people feel, especially because, well, actually, sorry, they're not that old. I was thinking, like, they're old, but they're not. They're only in their 30s. But it's really sad that, like, people feel so like they can't come out that they need to, like, hide it for so long. He's been struggling with it for so long, and I think that's just, like, that's the worst feeling ever. But then again, it's also the worst feeling ever to be cheated on, so. Okay. Next story. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to stop involving her imaginary friend Tom into our relationship? Okay. Who is this? Who is having an imaginary friend? Sorry, I'm being silly. Okay, this was posted on November 3rd, 2024. And it's, like, so short, but there's an update, and so that's good. So when I started dating Sarah, I thought I hit the jackpot. Smart, funny, and gorgeous. We've been together for about a year, and everything seemed pretty normal. But recently I discovered that she has an imaginary friend named Tom. I had no idea about Tom when we got together. At first, I thought she was just joking around when she'd say things like, Tom says you're funny, or Tom thinks we should order pizza. I laughed it off, assuming Tom was just a goofy inside joke. But now, it's like Tom's some kind of relationship therapist that I never hired. We were having a serious talk the other night, and out of nowhere, she said, Tom thinks you're overreacting. I just stared at her, thinking, oh, great, I'm getting double-teamed by my girlfriend and her imaginary friend. So I finally asked her, can Tom maybe stay out of our conversations? Sarah looked crushed and told me Tom has been her rock for years. Now she's barely talking to me, and it's like Tom's got beef with me too. Am I the asshole for asking her to keep Tom out of our relationship, or do I just need to make peace with my invisible rival? Well, I feel like maybe she needs to talk to someone. I don't know if it's that healthy to have an imaginary friend at the age of 26 years old. I think I would be so concerned if my boyfriend had an imaginary friend at his age. I'd be like, so who is this Tom? Like, have you talked to her about it, like, deeply? I feel like I would have already talked to her. I'd have a deep conversation, like, who is this Tom character that I have yet to know, that I have yet to get to know? I would love to, please. I would love to know. All right, we're going to read the update. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to stop involving her imaginary friend Tom in our relationship? Update. Tom's origin story, and it's weirder than I expected. All right, buckle up, because things just got even stranger. After reading all of your comments, seriously, you guys are killing me with the give Tom a girlfriend and charge him rent suggestions. I decided it was finally time to have the talk with Sarah about Tom. So we're sitting there, and I gently bring up how Tom's presence in our relationship is, well, a bit much. She laughs at first, but then suddenly gets a serious look and says, okay, I guess it's time I told you the truth about Tom. Now, I'm thinking she's going to say he's just a silly thing she made up as a kid, but no. She takes a deep breath and tells me that Tom wasn't just an imaginary friend. He was her boyfriend back in high school. Yep, you read that right. Apparently, Tom was her ideal boyfriend during her teenage years when, in her words, real boys were just disappointments. She used to imagine him as this super supportive, hilarious guy who'd always take her aside and hype her up. And somehow, even after she started dating actual people, Tom just stuck around. Now I'm sitting there thinking, great, I'm in a love triangle with an imaginary high school boyfriend. She reassures me that it's not like that now, but I can't help but wonder if I'm competing with the ultimate perfect boyfriend who's literally too good to be true. So I guess I'll try to make peace with my invisible rival, but just so you know, if I ever hear her whisper, thanks, Tom, under her breath again, I might actually lose it. By the way, the girlfriend is 26 and the boyfriend is 27, so... interesting. I don't know how he's being so calm about it. I don't know. I just feel like I would feel really weird. Like, Who the fuck is Tom? Am I being watched? I'm just a little bit concerned that you think that you have a boyfriend that is an imaginary being. Okay, let's see what people are saying, because I'm really at a loss for words. This website keeps coming up with new ways to weird me out. For years, I thought I was a weird person, and then I came to this site. Good God, am I normal? I'm not sure which one's weirder, though. The guy with the stuffed animal or an imaginary perfect boyfriend. But we can all agree the spider lady was not one of them. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. At least it was a person instead of a giant cockroach this time. It sounds like a coping mechanism to me. Tom says the things she feels she can't say, basically using him as a shield. But that means that you need to probably go to therapy. But then someone commented, kind of sad that homegirl doesn't feel like she can just say she wants to order pizza and Tom has to do it, with like the sad face. Agreed, this reminds me of when I was younger and I would try to communicate that I didn't like something in a romantic relationship by pinning it on my friends. Like, I'd go to my friends unknowingly upset with something my ex said, and they'd all be like, wow, that's totally unacceptable and shitty. And I'd bring it up to my ex by saying, my friends think you're mean to me, or something similar. This shit extended to all my relationships in my life, to be honest. I had to really look and see that my absolute terror and unwillingness to take accountability for my own wants, needs, and feelings was hurtful and ruining my relationships. When she mentioned it was a high school boyfriend, I was prepared for it to be a guy who died, and this was her grieving process gone horribly wrong. That's literally what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. And they said somehow that seems saner, and I literally agree. Because if she said that, I'd be like, oh. But this is just making me feel weird. And no judgment. No judgment. It's just, if you're 26 years old and you have an imaginary friend and you haven't been to a therapist about it yet, then I'm a little bit concerned. And all I can really recommend to you is therapy. And I hope that you have the resources to do so. Because I'm just not sure having an imaginary friend at that age is normal. Yet again, I had to kick my cat Frank out because he's a psychomaniac and I don't want him to bite the computer screen. It literally stresses me out so much when he comes up here and I don't know if he's going to bite the computer screen or not. Okay. Next story. Sorry if you guys feel like I'm going through these stories so fast, but I don't really want to waste time if I'm like not. That's all I have to say about it, truly and frankly. That's all I have to say about these situations. Sometimes it's like I can only say so much about a situation, you know? But I also don't want to make it seem like I'm like trying to do this super fast because I'm not. I just don't want to like sit there and waste anybody's time. Okay, next story. My boyfriend of 7 years cheated on me. My boyfriend came clean about his affair with a coworker. He fully admitted that they slept together 4 times. First time was July and the last time was October, both after drinking. He didn't use drinking as an excuse. He was admittedly sober. The girl has always been significantly flirty before, and he would usually not mind her. Came the month of July when he started playfully responding to the girl's comments. He was aware that this coworker was really into him. The first time happened after she threw a party at her house, and he was the last one to leave. She kept asking him to stay while he fully knew what would happen if he stayed, and he did. He wanted a quick release during that time, and she was available. Fast forward, things happened, and the next 3 times it happened was during the same situation. I asked if this coworker knows that he has a girlfriend. He said that it was known in his office, but he honestly admitted that he made it seem irrelevant and would often get mad if ever his coworker would pry, and she would just shut up and never bring it up. A month ago was the last time when something happened between them. He told her off, and then this coworker just became hysteric because he made her a mistress. On the same day, he dropped by and admitted it. In the middle of the night, he called me and asked if he could come over to my house. I said yes because at first I thought it was another thing bothering him at work. He often drops by for comfort when he's stressed at work, so it was nothing unusual. And by comfort, I don't even mean sex. He just vents out as I massage his head. When he first saw me, he hugged and He hugged me and said that I'd likely hate him after saying what he needed to say. Having said that, cheating was not the first thing that came to mind. I was that secure of my relationship with him, and I really trusted him. I thought he got into drugs or something, and when he told me, I was still so confident that he was joking around. But then he just looked at me crying and saying sorry, and that's when it really sunk in how true it was. He told me everything, up to the last detail. He told me how and when. They don't even communicate through phone. It was always at work. And when I asked him why he admitted it, his reply was because his guilt has already been eating him up, which for me is so effed up because, dude, you were able to do it 4 times with the same person. He said that the very last thing he can do for me is to give me the freedom of choice to stay with him. He said that he didn't like this person he became, and he was so stupid for throwing away our relationship because he got his ego stroked. His coworker would really go out of her way to deliver food and say compliments, etc. He also said that he'll still pursue me regardless, but feels like the very least he could do is give me the choice to break up or stay. As if she doesn't have that choice already. Like, sir. We have always been transparent with each other. He would not have hesitated with me using his phone or prying, and we had a steady and sensible relationship. We're both young, we're in our mid-20s, and we're just starting to figure out life together. People really loved our dynamics because he understands how busy I am, and I understand how busy he is. When I need him or when things are stressful with no questions asked, he would see me and listen to me. His family loves me, and my family loves him. I actually thought that he was the one. He always made me feel like he was always on my side. Our friends were shocked that he was able to do that because everyone saw him as someone who was deeply in love with me, and I'm not saying that because I'm trying to convince myself something, but it's true. No one thought that he could cheat. Not because he's a great person, but because other people thought it was both endgame for both of us. He honestly showed me how I should be loved, and I have always felt lucky with him. He understands me and my aspirations, and so do I. We had big fights since our personalities are polar opposites, but it never felt scary enough that he would break up with me. We can argue all day and not speak for a few hours or a day, and neither of us would be scared that we're going to break up with each other. Fights never seemed like it was between us, but for our relationship. Also, we are each other's first boyfriends and girlfriend. What happened was really heartbreaking. I was not mad. I just questioned myself on where did things go wrong because we really have been doing so well. His actions didn't change during those months. He was just simply my annoying yet loving boyfriend. It's so shitty to feel like you were betrayed by someone who always made you feel so loved. He was never manipulative, he was always supportive, and when things were off between us, he would really find me to talk things over, no matter how small it was. He was sorry and begging that I just take time off from the relationship and maybe then we can work things out after. He said he was willing to wait. I broke things off with him, but he would message me every night and would sometimes drop by my house. His mom messaged me since he also admitted it to his mom, and I haven't told my family yet because I don't think I have the guts to tell them. I just want to move on, but sometimes I reflect on how great our relationship was and maybe it was worth another try. But I can't help but think that once a cheater, always a cheater. And to be honest, I realize that going through this really changes how you see things generally. That no matter how great things are, there's always something that could go wrong. I don't think I can trust him again. And what's worth going back to a relationship if I can never trust him again? I'll be returning everything that he gave me. He wants me to keep it, but I just feel like it would be better that way. I just feel so pathetic that I still debate on giving him a chance when I know that this is a deal breaker. I feel so stupid that it's even in my options. I love him. I still do, but I need respect in a relationship as well. Already posted this in another group, but someone suggested that I post it here. No. Why is this even a question? He cheated on you 4 times. Why? I understand that your relationship was good, like, in every other way, in every other aspect, but, like, he did the ultimate betrayal of cheating on you, and not only just once. It's not like, and even then, like, even just once, I don't think that people deserve another chance. If you cheat once, it's done. It's over with. Goodbye. Because the relationship completely changes after that. The other person is always going to have that in the back of their head, regardless of if they think they do or not. It's subconsciously always going to be there. They're never going to truly trust you, and they're never going to truly be happy with you again, I genuinely think, because it's always going to come back to well, they cheated on me. Like, the trust is going to be broken. No matter if you take 10 years to rebuild the trust and you truly trust them again, it's still like, oh, well, this person's still, it just changes the whole basis of the relationship. Like, everything changes. And I just feel like it's not worth it to get back together even after one time cheating. I just feel like it's better to just respect yourself, realize that if someone cheats on you, you can do better. You can do better 100% because you can find someone that's not going to cheat on you, that you love just as much. And 4 times, also with the same person, like, okay, maybe he has feelings for this girl. Also, that's my biggest fear. Why do people cheat with coworkers? I mean, why do people cheat in the first place? But, like, coworkers is so scary because everyone has a job. I mean, most people have a job, so it's like, damn. Keep things professional. I'm stressed. I mean, I don't think you should feel pathetic, and I also think that you should tell your family, because usually when you tell your family, it's like, well, there's no going back now, Once your family knows, it's like, fuck, it's over. That's, like, how I knew when I was really, like, done with my ex, because I was like, all the other times I never told my family, but then I was like, we broke up, bye. And I told everyone, I'm like, we broke up, I broke up with him, bye. And that's when I really knew that it was real, because, yeah. And then when my current boyfriend, which I still don't think I've forgiven him, I don't think I've forgiven him 100%, and I tell him that sometimes, but my current boyfriend, I've talked to you about how we broke up previously. He broke up with me. Guys. And it was like the worst situation. Honestly, when I think back to it, it's like pretty traumatic, to be honest. And because I think I told you guys like the whole story, but when I was visiting him, we've been dating for like, it had almost been a year. I call it a year because it was like 11 months at this point that we had been dating. And I was pretty much only visiting him. Like, he never really visited me because, I don't know, I just felt like he had so much going on, which is crazy. And it's crazy that I ever thought that, like, he shouldn't visit me and give me the same amount of, like, whatever, effort. But, yeah, so I would, every 3 weeks, I would take I think I mostly just took the bus. I took a stupid-ass, ugly-ass, smelly-ass Greyhound bus that took 12 hours to get there. It was like a 6-hour car ride, but I didn't want to ever, like, drive my car because it's a Volkswagen Bug, and it's falling apart, and it's been falling apart for years. And so I took a 12-hour bus ride there. And this time I usually would stay there for, like, the weekend, the week, and then the weekend after that. So I'd stay for a while because I, like, worked online and I could do all my work from there. And, yeah, so I would take a 12-hour bus ride. So this last time when he broke up with me, I took a 12-hour bus ride. It was, like, my 7th day there. I had, like, 3 days left. I was sleeping, and he went to class at, like, 8 a.m. I'm still sleeping. He texted me on his way back from class saying, like, hey, I'm, like, almost home. We need to talk. I'm sleeping. I wake up. I look at my phone. I'm like, okay. I go back to sleep. And then he walks in. Honestly, thinking about this is making my heart pound. He walks in to the room. I wake up. I'm like, whoa. Look, his face is like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, what's going on right now? I'm like thinking he got arrested and is going to prison or something. I'm like, what's happening? And he's like, it's just not working out. And I was like, what? You're joking, right? Like, I thought he was joking. He's like, I literally thought he was joking. For 30 seconds, I genuinely was like, he's joking, obviously. Like, haha, so funny. And he was like, yeah, it's just not working out. Like, I just think that we're, like, he gave some bullshit excuse. I don't know. It was, like, codependent, but then also not. Like, it just seemed like he didn't even care, really. And he's just, it was so weird. I'm like, why are we breaking up? I'm so confused. I started bawling my eyes out, and I was like so upset. And I was like, okay, well, I have 3 days left, and my ticket isn't until like in 3 days. And then he's like, yeah, like he had points or something for a plane ticket, so he was like, yeah, I'll buy you a plane ticket back. And then it was in the morning. It was like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. at this point. He's like, pulls open his computer as if he's like ready to get me out. He's like trying to push me out. I'm like, damn, like we didn't even talk about this. Like, what's happening right now? And he's like, okay, you want to go home at like 5? And I'm like, no. Can I wait till like tomorrow so I can process and like, you know, I don't know, just sit here and cry a little bit for goddamn. So then he was like, yeah, that's fine. And so we booked the ticket for the next morning, and then it was delayed like hours and hours, so I didn't end up leaving till the afternoon. But the day that we broke up, like right after I think we booked the ticket, I went outside and I like called my mom like, we broke up. Because I was like, even if there's a chance that we get back together right now, there's no way that I can trust him again after he just broke up with me like that, like so traumatically. I just felt like it was so traumatic. And so yeah, I was crying to her on the phone like, God damn it. I didn't eat for so long after that. But then that night, the whole day I was just bawling on and off. He was crying as well. And then we fell asleep. He fell asleep first. And I was like up till like 2 a.m. like looking at the ceiling like, what is my life? And then we woke up in the morning. My flight was supposed to be like early at like 8 a.m. but then it was delayed till like 11 or 12. And then we went and got like Dunkin', and he was like chipper. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, now we can both like focus on ourselves and blah, blah. I'm like, brother, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm literally in shambles right now. I'm heartbroken. Why are you talking about this like it's a good thing? I'm literally just got my heart absolutely shattered into pieces, and there was no warning signs, like 0 warning signs. I had no idea that was going to happen. We were having a great week. Everything was going great. We were loving, enjoying each other. And we're like getting Dunkin'. I'm like, I'm not eating, but like I'll get a coffee. And he's trying to get me to eat. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then he drives me to the airport. I'm just bawling in the car. And we hug each other and said goodbye. And then I literally went to the airport, and then I had a layover in like Georgia, I think, and Atlanta. And I was in that airport calling to schedule a therapist appointment. I'm like, I need a therapist stat because I'm literally losing my mind right now. And yeah, that's my breakup story. And it was actually the most traumatic thing ever. And I honestly still think about it all the time and get so sad. Like, even though, like, obviously we're doing very well right now and we're very stable and very secure, I still get mad about it. Because it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to speak to my therapist about, to be honest. Because I always tell him, like, I still haven't forgiven you. You still need to make it up to me. It's been 2.5 years and you still need to make it up to me. But anyways, let's read some comments. Sorry, guys, that was a long story, but... Okay, someone said, oh, OP, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. If this was a friend telling you what had happened to them, would you be encouraging them to stay or go? Ultimately, he made a choice on 4 separate occasions to betray your relationship. Love and trust. He knew what he was doing was wrong, but chose to anyway. You deserve someone who chooses you every single time. I hope you truly take some time to heal and make the selfish choice for your happiness, as he sure did. Grieve what you had and strive for better. You know your worth. I almost feel like when someone cheats on you, obviously, yeah, that's like extremely traumatic and very hard to go through, but that definitely makes it a lot like easier to just move on. Like, bye, you know, and then it gives me the ick, because it's like, ew, you're that desperate. You could have just come home and we could have, or, you know, come over or whatever, because they obviously don't live together, but could have just come home and we could have done something. Why do you need to go, like, stick your dick in another girl? It's weird. Okay, Yep, dude hit it 4 times over 3 months while things were good between them. What happens when something goes wrong in his life or their relationship? Best of luck in the future. Honey, he slept with her 4 times. This man cannot be trusted, and it's very unlikely that you will ever be able to repair what you had. Move on now before you have children with him, because I guarantee you that 1, he will do it again with the next girl that strokes his ego, and 2, separating when kids are involved is way harder. My little kitty, I have this little puzzle thing that I put food in, and she's literally going crazy. I don't think there's any left, sugar. Oh, she found a piece. She's a silly bean. You getting food, girl? All right. Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. Damn. All right, I have this last story. And this is actually from a Storytime Society member that actually wrote this on the Storytime Society subreddit. So, yeah, let's get into it. Did I do the right thing and cut off my best friend of 11 plus years when she put her dog down? Hi all, this happened a couple of months ago and it still has my stomach in knots. Warning, it is quite emotional and a long story. I, 24 female, cut contact with my best friend, 23 female, after she put her dog 9 months down. Let me get into some context. My now ex-best friend had a 10-month-old baby at the time that this all happened, as well as a 1-year-old black lab and a 9-year-old Jack Russell / Chihuahua. The dogs had a doggy door and were allowed in and out of the home as they pleased. The baby also had no real limits in where they could crawl other than being moved back onto a mat or carpet if they wandered far. A couple months prior to this all happening, there was an incident where the baby had crawled to the 9-year-old dog and touched his back legs. For more context, this dog is overweight and had a surgery a year prior due to a bad leg / knee issue, so was sensitive about this area. And the dog growled at the baby. The next time I saw my friend, I heard all about this incident. In that she said to me she would have to put the dog down if anything like that ever happened again. I was shocked when she said this and started offering solutions to this problem. I asked her about relatives who could take him, to which she said that she had already asked and they said no. I then asked if the dogs and the baby could be separate until the baby gets a little bit older and learns more boundaries, to which she didn't like that idea either. So I said I really hope it never comes to this, but I would much rather take him and have him live with me than risk him being put down. She agreed that I would have to mean that because it would likely be the only option. And I reiterated that I was serious. I then grabbed her dog's face and promised him I wouldn't let anything bad happen to him and gave him a big kiss. Fast forward a couple months later, and my friend comes into my workplace with tears in her eyes and tells me that she put her dog down because he snapped at the baby. I was in a state of shock, so all I could offer were hugs and to ask questions. The dog snapped, not bit or touched, at the baby 2 hours before he was then put down at a vet. My friend never called or messaged me about any of this. Once he had passed, he was left at the vet. My friend told me she was weird with death, and so she wouldn't be collecting his ashes, nor did she request any paw prints or nose prints or hair clippings or anything to remember her dog by. Once she left my workplace, I then started to process what happened and realized that I'd never see this dog again. I then spent the whole night crying and wishing I could turn back time. I still wish that I could. The friend initiated a fight with me, being disappointed in my reaction and that I should support her no matter what. I loved my friend like family and was an auntie to her baby, but I couldn't support what she had done. We've spoken about it since, and she's made it clear to me that she has no true idea of what she did and why I'd be willing to end a friendship over it. Sorry for such a long-winded post. I tried to keep it as short as possible. If there's any details I've missed that would help to clarify things, let me know. I don't truly know what I want to gain from posting this. I know I made the right decision. It's just been a really hard one. I recently missed the baby's first birthday, and that was really hard. Oh my God. That was really sad. That almost actually made me cry because I feel, okay, it's one thing if like the dog like bit the baby's face and she had to get a bunch of stitches or something, which still like it's a dog, and some dogs are reactive, and there are places and people that can deal with reactive dogs and that can take the reactive dogs. And the fact that she didn't look into any other options, and then to know that you would have taken the dog and she still put the dog down, it sounds like she wanted to kill the dog. Like, it's really weird. It's honestly, like, it's not sitting right with me, the fact that she was so, it's almost like she wanted it to happen. Like, she wanted this dog to snap at the baby so she could put him down or something. Because the fact that he growled at the baby and she immediately was like, if this happens again, I'm putting him down. There's other options out there. And also, are you realizing, like, I don't know if she should even own dogs, because the fact that she's not educated about the fact that, like, dogs can be reactive. There's different kinds of dogs. Some dogs have had trauma that makes them reactive to other dogs. Some dogs have had trauma that makes them reactive to humans. And then they're really good with dogs. And then, like, vice versa. And then some dogs are just have mental blocks where they are just reactive in general, and they can snap easier than others, and they can be, I don't know, that's so crazy. That's so sad. The fact that she didn't just think, hey, she didn't think to just say, hey, like, can you come get him? He just snapped at the baby again, and I really don't want to deal with it. But to just go put him down, honestly, it bothers me that the vet even, like, put him down without a question. That bothers me a lot. And that makes me really sad. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I could not forgive her for that. If that was my friend has like a dog that she loves. He's like 6 or 7 years old. And if that happened, I would also offer to take the dog. And then, like, I don't know if I would want like a dog at the time or not, but I would keep the dog until I could find like the right placement for the dog instead of getting him put down. And also, some dogs just don't like babies either. And if you go to the shelter and stuff, you'll see even like cats will be like, this cat will do better in a place with no other cats and no kids. There's different requirements for different animals. So maybe this dog just didn't like babies. And also, not to mention, he had a surgery, which is completely understandable. So I'm just a little confused, and I feel like you have to have empathy, especially for animals, because the animals, they can't talk. They can't tell you, can you get the fuck away from me? Like, that's their way of telling you, get the fuck away from me. I understand totally why you would be upset. And it's totally normal to be grieving a relationship and a friendship that you've had for so long, and you look at her as family. But why am I saying totally? Totally. I don't know why I'm saying that so much, but I 100% agree with you and would do the same thing, no matter how hard it would be. And it's okay to be grieving that relationship and that friendship. And if you ever do feel like you can forgive her, obviously that's fine too. But I truly think I would do the same thing, and I think a lot of people would, because that's just a really bad situation. Even if you didn't offer to take the dog, there's still other options that she could have looked into. And I follow this girl on TikTok that has this massive dog that she has had him for like 6 years or something, and at some point in his life he had to get a surgery, and I guess he woke up during surgery or something. It was like a traumatic thing, and after that he was never the same, so he has to wear a muzzle all the time. And she has been taking care of this dog with a muzzle on, like, knowing that this dog tries to bite a lot and is very reactive towards her and other people, and still did her very best. And she's like, obviously she's not rich, like, she doesn't have a lot of options. She had to move into an apartment, and the dog had no room to run, no yard, and so it made things a lot harder. And still yet she took this on like a champ and tried her best to find a replacement home for him. And she ended up finding, when she could have put this dog down. She could have just taken the easy route and putting this dog down. But obviously, you have an animal and you connect with an animal, and it's not just like so easy to put an animal down. To me, at least, I would be absolutely terrified and traumatized if I had to put an animal down. So I just feel like there could have been a lot more things she could have done, and the fact that she didn't try anything is very concerning. That she has other animals, and like, what if her other dog snaps at the baby? Is she gonna put this other dog down too? Is she gonna put them all down? Like, oh, you growled at the baby, done for. I understand that it's scary when a dog growls at your baby. Okay, obviously that's so scary. You prioritize your baby over your animals, of course. That's your literal child. But if you know that this dog doesn't like that, and you were warned that this dog doesn't like the baby when it touches him or whatever, you take the correct measures to prevent that from happening, or you rehome the dog. As hard as that is too, it's obviously hard to rehome the dog, or give it to a shelter, because that's sad, but it's a lot more sad to end this poor innocent dog's life. But that's really sad. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And thank you for sharing your story, because I know that we chatted earlier and you were really nervous to share it. But I think that you shouldn't be nervous, and I 100% agree with you. But that is our last story of the day. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I don't know what I was going to say. Fuck. I know I told a really long story, I feel like, of my own in between those stories, but yeah, I hope it wasn't too long and too drawn out, but I felt like I haven't told that story before, and I always reference to it, so I needed to tell you guys, because you're going to learn everything about me. I feel like you guys have already learned a lot about me by doing this podcast, because I'm always like saying tidbits of things that have happened to me and like related to some of the stories that have been read on here. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much, and please let me know what you thought about the stories. Please let me know anything that is on your mind, and I hope you have the best day ever. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Storytime Society.